Hi, Luke. Let's firstly talk about potential players coming back maybe for Saturday's trip to Yeovil. There was no Aaron the Man on Tuesday night. What's the latest with him?
No, Aaron's absolutely fine. Yeah, it was very much a precaution on my part. So no, he's fine.
Excellent. What about Richard Brindley and Kedwin Scott?
Um, Richard Brindley is there or thereabouts, but we have a small issue that we need to get to the bottom of. Um, so we'll see. Who else did you ask me? Sorry.
About Kedwin Scott, he went off on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, Kedwin is very sore because has a problem in the shoulder. But we have another day to try to assess how he's getting on with that, and we make a final decision. Excuse me, tomorrow after training.
Talking of players potentially coming back, it was I think the second appearance for Frank Vincent. Of course, he's been out on loan for much of this season. But what part can he play going forward as we get to the business end?
Well, I had a really good conversation with Frank all the way through. We communicate. He's a great guy like that, and so we've always known where we are with each other, and so now he's played in a different position. I think the big thing was getting on the pitch because for me there's a risk when the player didn't play there before, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to get, but I felt like he showed me really a promising performance, like very, very good. So that's changed the landscape for myself and Vinny. So we'll see now if he can pick up more minutes and continue to play well.
I was going to say, is it quite refreshing having a player of Frank Vincent's quality to come back in, especially at this stage of the season?
Yeah, definitely, and like I always say with Vinny is like the intensity. I love the attitude. I love his mentally tough boy, and all those things. I've never had any doubt. It's just he didn't make great performances in the pre-season, and then found himself like behind a few players and difficult for minutes. But I never doubted his quality as a guy, and now he's been able to show quality on the pitch in this position. So yeah, really changed things a lot.
Let's talk about Yeovil on Saturday. Another long trip for you, Luke. You must be getting bored of them by now.
Yeah, it's part and parcel. We know we have to try and make the arrangements as best we can, and try to limit the fatigue it puts on us all. And so far on the travels, we've been able to do that. So we have to follow the same type of scheduling that we've been following all season, and hopefully we can still have the energy that we need to make a good performance.
I mean, the last three away games you've come away, and they've been tough battles, as you know. What can you take from those three away wins in recent weeks into the Yeovil game, considering the travel as well?
Well, I think we should take a lot of confidence from the fact that they were tough games, and also the fact that I don't think we performed near our top, but we managed to get the victories, because I think we had enough in our performance that we were able to come away with the victories in those games. But we need to take confidence and also a warning from that. We know the two things, and try to improve our performance. I think really is the key thing.
It's Yeovil, of course. Last time you played them at Meadow Lane, it was the only time I think you didn't score. What made them so tough to break down on that day, and how do you make sure that situation doesn't happen again down at Huish Park?
Well, I don't think we can guarantee anything um, because Mark Cooper has done an incredible job and turned them into a different looking outfit, and that was evident when they played at Meadow Lane, because the players knew exactly what their jobs were. They carried out their jobs knowing that the manager is going to watch them and judge them on their performance. And when you play against a team like that, you can't guarantee anything. And of course, I know the manager, and I know that he will have actually improved the side since we played them, which is a concern for us, that we're playing a better version of Yeovil. So we know all those things, and we've had a lot of tough tests, and the one thing that we can always try to do is prepare correctly and then work on making sure our performance is as high as it can be.
mean, does it feel now, since that 0-0 draw against Yeovil, that not some more, should we say, battle hard and to come up against teams like that in the future? And it's shown that in recent games away from home.
I think certainly as the season has gone along, we've showed that we have many sides to us, and that's a really important thing. So we're prepared for whatever type of approach that Yeovil make in the game. We're prepared for that, and we've faced, I would say it's fair to say we've faced almost every type of approach now at this stage, and so we're confident that we can beat teams in the division, but of course on the day you can just never guarantee what will happen against a well-organised team. You just don't know.
No, of course, and 5 wins in a row, momentum will be a huge factor in the final few games, won't it, of this season? Because, like you say, you found different ways to win, and ultimately 3 points. That's the target at the end of every Saturday and every Tuesday night. And the fact that you've managed to achieve that in the last 5 games, it must bode well for you going forward.
Yeah, but it means nothing if we don't continue. That's unfortunately the reality, is that we're not in a position where we have a comfortable buffer that we can afford to have a bad day and it won't affect the grand scheme of things. It's just not the case, and we're fully aware of that, and so that's why we have to move on to the next game and forget about 5 games that we won. It just is not important. Only the future is important.
Yeah. Is it a case as well, like when you do beat Barnet on Tuesday night? Of course, there'll be celebrations there for the 3 points, but is the attention then immediately afterwards, right? That one's done. That's out the way. We'll take the good stuff from that, and we'll put that all towards an effort down at Yeovil.
Yeah, absolutely. When the game is finished, there's a moment of satisfaction, and then that dwindles away very, very quickly, and then the feeling of needing to be prepared and select the right team and make the right session, that all begins very, very quickly, and like I say, that's going to be probably the reality if we're lucky enough to still be right up there till the very end.
It sounds like the players are ready for that. Speaking to Matty Palmer earlier, it does feel like you say, you've achieved nothing yet, despite all the accolades and everything that the season has shown so far. That the main target is promotion. It feels like none of the players will rest until they get that.
Well, certainly we won't rest until the very end. We'll give everything, I'm sure of that. I really believe that the squad understand that. I also believe that squads at other clubs understand that as well, and I respect them hugely for that. So we can only set the tone here as staff and players. We have to set the tone and recognise the challenge that we have.
Excellent stuff. Appreciate your time as always, Luke, and safe journey down to Yeovil.
Thank you, Jake. Cheers.
Hi, Luke. Just a couple of follow-up questions really from Jake. So would you say, in the past 4 games we've seen your side win perhaps differently to what we've been used to? So would you say that we've seen a different side to you even in recent weeks?
Yeah, I think that it's strange because it's something that we focus on a lot all the way through the campaign. On the toughness and being able to have different routes forward. Often we've not had to use any other different tactics than seeing us really control a game and have a lot of build up and so on. But we've been working on making sure that we're ready for whatever is thrown our way, and now we're seeing the fruit of that labour from the players, that understanding in training day in, day out, that we may have to be ready for this and that, and now we are. So that's great.
The phrase mentality monsters gets thrown around a lot in football, and does that further showcase the mentality of this group of players and how important it is to have that alongside the evident amount of quality that you have?
Yeah, mentality is everything really, and because we know that we have quality in the squad and we have athleticism in the squad. We have a good mixture of what you need to be a good football team on paper, but then in reality, those things mean less if you don't have the correct mentality. And sometimes mentality is difficult to create, and it can be damaged very, very easily at times. But so far, the players have shown a strong mentality, and it's been tested, and they've shown resilience with their mentality, and those things are very, very important.
And then, obviously, as you mentioned there, Frank Vincent, his performance on Tuesday, arguably, proof of that player mentality as well.
Absolutely, I think that when you look at the performance of Frank Vincent and Sam Austin when he came on, Sam's been a very important player for us, and he's often he will have played in games and the team won, and he's done quite well, and because of my image for the next game, he comes out, and that could be very difficult for a player to accept. But Sam just has a mentality that he will be prepared and he will give everything all the time. And Frank Vincent showed the exact same mentality. That is the one that I'm most impressed with. It's the one that I'm looking for all the time. It's a type of mentality that we see from like Adam Chickson, for example, and many of the guys. But with those players that we just spoke about, they're very evident, and that's the one that we're striving for.
And then, obviously, with the win, opening up a 5-point gap at the summit. But then you've also added to your goal difference as well. So how much did you value the importance of the 4 goals on Tuesday?
No, absolutely, and we try to play an attacking game, an intense game for 90 minutes. We want to try to keep playing and score as many goals as we possibly can, because we know that it could potentially come down to that, and it's a good habit to get into. So absolutely, it's important. Yeah.
And then obviously you provided a quick injury update there, but I just wanted to ask about Toby. Have you had a chance to further assess the injury he picked up on Tuesday?
Yeah, we think that unfortunately he's damaged his ankle. We don't know the full extent until it settles down more. But we're disappointed for Toby, because he was in a lot of pain, and he actually played a number of minutes with quite a bad knock, and we appreciate that from him. But yeah, we need a bit more time to see exactly how long he'll be out for.
And then just finally, obviously the past month was earmarked as perhaps the most pivotal month of the campaign, given the amount of fixtures. But the players and yourselves have obviously received plaudits for the performances and the tactical things around that. But I just wanted to ask about the importance of your staff as well. Ryan Harley, Tom Wheel and all of those guys. How important have they been on this run?
Oh, they're epic, incredible. And I think it's fair to say that it's probably not easy to work in my staff. And the expectations are high. And sometimes the timescales that you're given are unrealistic, but the work still gets done, and it gets done to a high standard, and it gets done without any type of complaint. So yeah, it's hard to speak more highly, really, of that group of backroom staff, every single one of them. So I'm very, very grateful for what they've done. I need to keep them going as well, and they have to understand, which they do, that we have to go every minute of every day to try and compete at this level in this season.